Could the Chargers be on the verge of adding a game-changing running back? Speculation is heating up as the draft approaches, and the Bolts are reportedly interested in a standout talent who could take our rushing attack to the next level. With a track record of breaking records and making defenders miss, this prospect could be just what we need to complement our existing roster. Don't miss out. Subscribe and like this video for all the latest updates on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are eyeing some serious talent in this year's draft, particularly when it comes to bolstering their running back position. If they miss out on a top prospect like North Carolina's Omarion Hampton in round 1, there's still a wealth of talent to be found later in the draft. One name that's catching my attention is DJ Giddens from Kansas State, an explosive athlete who has the potential to make a huge impact in our power run game. At 6'0" and 212 pounds, Giddens clocked a blazing 4.43 in the 40-yard dash and showcased impressive hops with a 39.5-inch vertical at the combine. He had a standout collegiate career, racking up 1,243 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns in his final season. But what really jumps out is his ability to break tackles and his exceptional vision on the field. He knows how to set up defenders with a stutter step or a jump cut, making him a nightmare for opposing defenses. It's exciting to think about how he could complement our current backfield. It's clear the Chargers are looking for that extra burst, something that might just give us the edge we need. While I love what I see in Giddens, I can't help but wonder if there are better options out there. But one thing's for sure, adding a dynamic player like him could elevate our offense to new heights. Most mock drafts are buzzing about offense for our Los Angeles Chargers, and honestly, it's hard to argue against that. We desperately need another starting wide receiver to team up with Ladd McConkey. Let's face it, our roster lacks reliable depth at that position. Plus, even with Tyler Conklin in the mix, we could use a long-term solution at tight end. This has led to some chatter about Colston Loveland, especially with his ties to Jim Harbaugh. But here's where things get interesting. Ian Valentino from the 33rd team has dropped a mock draft that has us focusing on defense instead. At pick 22, he's got us selecting Jalen Walker, a linebacker from Georgia. And you know what? I'm all for it. Valentino notes that while the 2025 receiving class looks promising, it might not be wise to reach for a wideout just yet. Our defensive front seven has been underwhelming, and it's time we address that. Jalen Walker is not just a rangy middle linebacker. He's got incredible value on third down with his pass rush ability. If we can snag him, it could really shore up our defense. But let's be real. There's a chance he might be off the board by the time we pick. If he's still available, though, this could be a game changer for us. While I want to see offensive weapons for Justin Herbert, shoring up our defense is crucial. The Los Angeles Chargers have found themselves in a bit of a bind this offseason regarding their receiving core. Sure, they secured Mike Williams, but let's be honest, he hasn't been the dynamic playmaker we hoped for since 2022. So what's next for the Chargers to bolster Justin Herbert's arsenal? Many fans are buzzing about the possible reunion with Keenan Allen. You remember him, right? The guy who spent 11 seasons with the Bolts before heading to the Chicago Bears in 2024. Now, it's true that Allen isn't quite the same player he was in his prime, but don't overlook his performance last season. 70 catches for 744 yards and 7 touchdowns is nothing to sneeze at, especially when you consider he was just 2 years removed from a 108 reception, 1,243-yard season. But here's where it gets interesting. With Stephon Diggs recently signing a 3-year, $69 million deal with the New England Patriots, the landscape for Allen's return might have shifted. Diggs' contract features $26 million guaranteed, which is significantly higher than what many analysts anticipated for him, especially given that he's coming off a torn ACL. This move could have a ripple effect, raising Allen's price tag in the process. Sure, he's a year older than Diggs, but he's also not recovering from a major injury and had a better season in 2023. Does that mean Allen is poised to break the bank? Not necessarily, but it's worth noting that the Chargers do have the cap space to make it happen. However, we can't ignore General Manager Joe Ortiz's track record. He has shown a clear preference for building through the NFL draft rather than splurging on veterans. This could create some friction between LA and Allen, who has expressed a desire to return to Los Angeles, something he hinted at over the winter. With the Rams already signing Davante Adams, the Chargers might be the only option left for him in Hollywood. So, what's the bottom line? I believe a reunion between the Chargers and Allen is still very much a possibility, but it's not going to be as straightforward as it might have been before Diggs' hefty contract. The stakes are high, and the emotions are palpable. As a passionate fan, I can't help but feel a mix of hope and trepidation. I want to see Herbert thrive, but I also know we can't just throw money around without a strategy. And you, what? Do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. Are you optimistic about the potential reunion with Allen, or do you think the Chargers should look elsewhere? Your thoughts matter, so let's get this conversation going. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all things Chargers, and make sure to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. Together, let's keep our eyes on the prize and hope for a successful season ahead. Bolts up.